Welcome to day 2 of practice of week 13, Achieving Spontaneous Right Action. Such a beautiful topic, and yes, a lot of leaving things, untying things. We all want to live in the flow, but we hold on to something always. We want things in our way, but universe is giving what we want, but what is there for us. And it is difficult for us to accept, think differently. That is what is been happening. And to embrace the change, we have to just let it go. Let it go. That one thought is important is thought of God. That is love, joy, peace, happiness, harmony, freedom, individuality, uniqueness with unified. So that is what we are building, learning every week and practicing to come into the flow. And our higher self is there to guide us. And the journey begins. So let us continue the journey further. And we have a beautiful, beautiful Nehaji. And looking forward towards another masterpiece.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's always a joy to share what we get through the chapter. So first of all, I'll check is the voice okay? The volume okay today?
It's very good.
Okay. See, I told you it in English group, it works completely fine. So welcome everyone. It is lovely to be together again. And now we also kind of know that experiencing love flow was such an important foundation for this chapter, because from that, a deeper space of knowing love, not just as a human emotion, but a unified field, we will now begin to understand how right thought and right action arises more naturally once we are connected with the thought of God, that one great thought of God that created everything. So today we will begin a very meaningful chapter, and also this phrase, if you read, achieving spontaneous right action. So each word here carries an important message. And today I just wanted to, because in English the flow comes differently, so whatever I got today I'll share. That when I read the chapter, achieving, the phrase here, achieving. So achieving here does not mean that arriving or attaining, something, accomplishing something externally. It only means that we are coming to an inner state of clarity and alignment. So at present, our thoughts may be influenced by our old beliefs, our habits, our conditioning, all our past experiences, which we are dropping slowly. And we are becoming aware of those thoughts, aligning them. So we are bringing ourselves into alignment with that God's thought. So we are moving towards a state where right action has no longer to be, it doesn't have to be forced. So what we are really achieving is the inner alignment from which the right action can naturally arise. Then if you look at this word spontaneous, we all know the meaning of it, that whatever arises naturally without any force, without any strain. So, but it also at the same time, it does not mean that acting impulsively or without a thought. It only means that when thoughts are clear, when there is absolutely no confusion, there is no clutter, there's no inner conflict, then we do not keep struggling with our decisions. Should I do this or that? So the next step becomes so clear when there is no mental clutter that action follows naturally. Then the right action, the right word has been described later as well. But here it is, again, before beginning, it is important to know that it is not something like a morally correct, right or wrong, the labels that we stick to, or just proving that my decision is correct. Just in mentally, because of our belief system, we think that something is correct. So right action, it has to be defined later in the book, that it arises from a thought that is aligned with greater truth. And that thought allows us to experience all the qualities of God, such as love, abundance, harmony. These are the experiences when we start with that thought. So, right is again about alignment with the truth. Then, action part, the outer expression of that inner thought. So, Babaji begins by saying that thoughts are the basis of all our actions. So, before every action, there is a thought. Sometimes it is so quick that we do not consciously even notice it. So, therefore, rather than concentrating only on changing our actions, because we are always concerned about changing our action, okay, and we try to kind of manipulate that action. We make, if we are angry, then we'll try to not get angry, or some other, we might think, try to correct that action. But the deeper work here is to become aware of the thought from which the action arises. So the title itself is giving the whole journey of the chapter, where achieving is about developing alignment. Spontaneous is that when we are aligned, action begins to flow naturally, and right, because it is in its source, it's aligned with truth. So action normally, whatever happens, it gives us the experience of God qualities. So we are not learning how to force ourselves to do the right thing. We are only learning to become so aligned that the right action becomes the next obvious, natural next step. So there are some points, if you read in the first few paragraphs, that how this thought and action is connected. So he says that thought comes before action. We are not even aware. The awareness of the thought may come later. But Babaji is again saying that we do not consciously think before an action. Sometimes the thought is so quick or so habitual that the action happens before we even recognize the thought. So it does not mean that I acted without thinking. It only means that I did not notice the thought that moved me into action. So there was still a thought there. And there is a difference, it is saying that sometimes we analyze many options. Sometimes a thought appears in a split second and we act. So there is a difference between having a thought and thinking about something for a long time. So something we are thinking for a long time is that mental movement, thoughts that we can see. And something, if the thought appears without even thinking, then there's no thinking happening. It has become a habit. Some habitual actions also have a thought basis, like it is coming from deeply from our subconscious. Then thoughts, it says that thoughts can lead to the action or affect some aspect of your action. So if you notice this wording, that thoughts do not necessarily produce an immediate visible action. A thought may change how I speak, my tone, my timing, my energy. The whole interpretation of a situation can influence a whole experience actually. So let's say if I have this thought at the back of the mind somewhere that, oh, I did not do the lunar eclipse meditation by itself, I'm just noticing a fact. It's just a fact in the mind that I did not attend. But what follows can affect the action. Maybe we can create our own story that I missed something important and I start feeling guilty and I start immediately looking at all the other, videos to compensate for doing that practice. Or I might have a thought that, oh, I'm so irregular, I'm not able to keep up with these sessions. Or you can just go and simply meditate without a guilt, or the thought may just arise and pass and there'll be no action at all. So it can influence that action in many ways. So even when a thought is not directly producing a new action, it can affect the feeling, the quality, the intention with which the next action is done. Then the teachings go to a level deeper, that action is only a part of the chain. We think action is the end of the chain, but it is only a part of the change. It says that all thoughts ultimately leads to some experience. So, like yesterday, Shaileji also told that thought happens, then action happens, and then it creates an experience. So, the place of inquiry for us is before the action. So, instead of only asking, why did I do that? We have to ask ourselves, what thought made that action seem so natural to me in that moment? And sometimes, as mothers, I can relate to this, that sometimes we react so quickly that it feels there is no thought at all. So if a child makes a mistake and we immediately start advising, correcting, try to control that whole scenario, and then suddenly you realize that why did I do that? So we can look a step earlier. Where are these patterns coming from? Where are these habits coming from? So that is the inquiry, that what thought made that reaction feel so natural that I could not even recognize the thought before the action. So we are not trying to control the reaction, but we are looking at the source of our thought. That's what we have to be looking at when we are doing this chapter and understanding our thoughts. Then spontaneous action. Now here, spontaneous action does not mean action without a thought, like I explained. It means the thought is so natural. So we are not even able to consciously recognize it. And further, it says that the key, therefore, to the most productive, fulfilling, and enjoyable activity is to have the correct thoughts. So the formula which is given here for making every activity productive, fulfilling, enjoyable, is that we are aligned with the correct thought. If we are aligned with the correct thought, naturally correct action will happen and give us the experience of God qualities. And even if an action is difficult from the outside, it is unpleasant, it is uncomfortable, from the outside may not seem right, but the inner experience can still be productive. It could be fulfilling and enjoyable. For example, sometimes we have to say no for some things. We have to set a boundary. Sometimes we have to admit our mistakes. Sometimes having a real, honest conversation with someone, it may not feel pleasant, but the action is coming from the clarity. So it can still leave us with that experience of a sense of freedom, or something has moved in the right direction. So we have to see like that. So enjoyable, this word enjoyable, which is given here, it does not necessarily mean fun or comfort. It can also mean that there is a inner sense of clarity. It is like you are in harmony with your thoughts. Even the outer action is challenging. And it goes ahead and says that we all want to behave correctly. We all have good intentions, but still there is unfulfillment from our actions. And sometimes it may result in evil action. Evil action, because sometimes we are very well intentioned, but maybe our sarcastic tone, that sarcasm may hurt somebody. So in our mind we are good, but somewhere there is a thought which is processing this whole thing, and that influencing the action. So, and sometimes evil action can, you can go to other end of it. It can result in many kind of actions which are probably not good for us and not good for anybody else. So he says that if everyone wants to be right according to their own understanding, then still how do we end up doing terrible things? How do we keep doing mistakes? So the answer to that is given here, that we are so convinced in our mind that our thought is right, a very noble one. But we forget that thought is not necessarily aligned with truth. We just have accepted the thought in our mind as the right thought. This is a bad thought, this is a right thought, that kind of thing we have in our mind. And the word here is aligning with one great thought. That one is important. So what does it mean? We heard yesterday that there are 60,000 thoughts. And actually, I looked it up, and now there is a research that 60,000 thoughts was an old research. It says now that 6,000 thoughts, 6,200 or 600 thoughts we get in a day. And 90% of them are repetitive thoughts. So you can imagine how many thoughts are just on repetition, playing on loop. So that's why he's saying one great thought. It suggests that beneath those million of individual thoughts, those experiences, there is one underlying creative intelligence which knows everything and which has the experience of God's qualities. So our real work is not to keep manufacturing good thoughts and fighting the bad thoughts, but to just keep clearing the fears, those assumptions, those beliefs that have distorted our perception. And we have been doing this exercise since chapter 7. So as our perception becomes clearer, then we are more open to access the greater intelligence. The book calls that all-knowing. The book calls it God's thought. So once that perception is clear, then right thought can arise naturally. And then the action follows with less struggle. And that action obviously would lead us to love, joy, peace, harmony. So difficult situations will not disappear. It will still exist. But we stop turning them into fixed conclusions about who we are or what our life is. So the key is simple here, that see the situation as it is. And also notice what extra meaning the mind is adding to the situation. So Babaji in the book has given so many examples. Every example is important, that how we create our own fantasies. Like a situation happens that I go somewhere and I cannot somehow buy what I want. And conclusion that I take out is, if I were rich, I could have that. If I had more money, I could have bought it. So the situation is financially real, but the passing thought which I have is that I'm not rich. Somewhere I have accepted that I don't have enough money. I'm very poor. So that is a limitation into an identity. We just accept that thought, and from following that thought, all our actions are happening and influencing all the experiences that we are happening. So one thought can bring thoughts of lack, thoughts of comparison, thoughts of insecurity. So also, like in an exam, if we have this, we all have that, I have an exam and my performance will be assessed through marks. So mind may add that I have to get good marks, and the hidden conclusions would be, if I don't get this many marks, then I'm not good enough. Others will think that I'm less capable. My parents, I have to prove it to my parents. My future depends on these marks. A lot of fantasies we create. And we have this thought that good marks only will prove that I am intelligent. So these conclusions that we derive, it can create unnecessary fear, unnecessary stress, unnecessary pressure. And then the action, that starts from that state. You can imagine how much we are in pressure when we are studying like that. So, and on the other hand, when the perception is clearer, and you are more open to studying and understanding the subject as well as you can, then you're not too much attached. We have a lot of students that they they do not associate that aspect of marks to their identity. They just want to learn the subject. They want to go as deep as they want. And they do not think that this marks would define their intelligence. We have a lot of examples in our life as well. So the same action of studying, it happens more sincerely because the inner source has changed. The alignment is different. So very important examples of like when you feel unloved. This is something we most of us struggle with, and somebody does not reciprocate the way I want to be. I want to feel love. Then I manufacture this thought, I am unloved, and from that space we are doing other things, however well intentioned that would be. It would neither be productive nor fulfilling, not an enjoyable activity. So these are the things we have to just look and see what examples come from your own life. You'll be able to see so many examples. Then he talks about illness, that a little bit of illness or any kind of illness, we just give up on our body and we say that my body is failing me. I will remain like this. I think I have to live with this pain forever. So we are not seeing the situation as is, we are adding meaning to it. So we, instead of saying that I'm experiencing a health condition, we make it that I am sick or I am ill or I am not healthy, our identity. So that is what Babaji is saying, that you make your experience of illness, of unloved, of being poor, your identity. And he says that these thoughts are simply not true. They are not true. They are fantasy. No matter and how much you think about it, that no, it is true. But the underlying truth is the same, that you are perfect. So we may think that I am unloved, I am poor, I am sick 1,000 times, but that is not going to change the reality of what you are. You are wholeness, abundance, and perfect and complete in your being. So our thought here, what he's trying to say, it becomes the lens through which we experience the whole world, our relationships, and then our actions will create those experiences what we feared about. It will automatically influence those actions and the experiences which we thought that we were always fearful about. It will create that kind of thing. He says that you are made in the image of God and you are a creator. So here he's pointing at that creative power of thought. His creation began with his thought, and his creation is not separate from his thought. The creation was spontaneous because there was no conflicting thought. There was no fear, there's no doubt, there was no distorted perception interfering between his thought and his expression. Thought and creation was in complete alignment. We have read this in chapter 7, that thought seems like one, thought and action. So that is the parallel Babaji is drawing for us, that when our thoughts are clear and aligned with the underlying truth, there is almost very less inner interference between a thought and action. So that gives spontaneity to an action. Then it says that this week you expand your experience of manifesting what you truly want. So he says when you are truly tuned, in that paragraph he's saying that when we are in tune with God's thought, there is a thought, still a thought before an action, but the gap becomes so small that thought and action appears as one. So that is the place where, that is the thing which we are calling spontaneous here. So it feels very effortless. You are not sitting there manufacturing possibilities, that should I do this, should I do that, what if something goes wrong, what if I should plan more, or something like that. The appropriate thought simply bubbles into your awareness. It just comes and you act. So life begins to flow easily from there. And the ease is only because we have stopped cluttering intelligence with too much analysis, too much fear or imagined outcomes. And then he says that when you use your little thoughts, you blindly leap. So he gives the contrast here that when we only rely on our limited personal thinking, the mind has access to a very small number of facts. We try to calculate the future from that incomplete information. And sometimes our decision works and sometimes it does not, because there are too many unknowns. And that is what he calls the blind leap. We take the blind leap. Why? When we can align ourselves with the right thought. So instead of taking a blind leap and hoping for it to work out, we can become clear enough that the appropriate thought arises from a deeper intelligence. And then we don't have to say, let's wait and watch, let's see what happens. So that is less and less interference. Then we know that, yes, this will result in the right action. It is correct for me. And he says that you already possess the quality of all-knowing intelligence. And all-knowing intelligence, we all know that it does not need to have, it does not mean that our conscious mind suddenly knows every fact, but that clutter is reduced. We become more available to the intelligence which already exists, and we operate from the higher mind. And for that, we don't need to know everything. And we don't need to keep weighing many alternatives in the first place. Because our thought itself is clear in the first place. Because otherwise, what happens? We are weighing alternatives. Different thoughts are pulling us in different directions. What if this goes wrong? Maybe this is a safe option. What will people think? What if I regret? So like that, we are creating several worlds, several universes of thought. And these thoughts then further pull us into manufacturing more thoughts, more outcomes. And then we are trying to calculate the right answer and right action for us in middle of all these thoughts. So the more we move into these self-created possibilities, the further we move away from the simple clarity of what actually needs to be done. And it is saying that there are too many unknowns because mind can work only with what it knows. It only retrieves we read about it, that intellect is a very small part. It only has the past experiences, it has the patterns and stored information, and on the basis of that, it projects all the future outcomes. But it has no direct knowledge of what has never happened before. So when a new situation comes, the mind can only guess. It can create an internal conflict. It compares that, okay, this happened, that happened, and on the basis of it, it gives you an answer. So Babaji is saying that if we only depend on the mind, then we are making all our decisions from very partial information. Sometimes the guess works and sometimes it doesn't. So it works, then you have simply lucked out. That doesn't mean that you are aligned with the right thought. So the all-knowing intelligence that he speaks of is not limited to what our conscious or subconscious mind already knows, remembers, or can calculate. And it is not restricted to our past experiences. So a beautiful example of this can be seen in Paramhans Yoganandji's life and that book, Autobiography of Yogi, where he was young and he was working in his Guruji's ashram. He was this young Mukund, and he had a very strong thought in somewhere when he left home that if I want to find God and great masters, then I must go to the Himalayas. So from the point of view of his conscious mind, it made complete sense. He planned the journey, he left home with friends, and he tried to work out all the practical details. But somewhere his mind was working with a limited picture, and it had already decided that the path of God should look like that. And what happened? The journey did not unfold as he had imagined. His plans were interrupted so many times, and eventually he returned much later. And through his Guru Sri Yukteswar Giriji and other masters, he came to that clarity that God realization was not dependent upon reaching a particular mountain or a geographical place. What he was seeking could not be obtained by just changing the outer circumstance. And the mind was trying to find God through the route it could imagine. It has read of, it has heard. But the larger intelligence was leading him through a route he did not even know. And that is exactly saying we do not need to know everything before the next right thought or action can arise. So, and we have seen that in our life as well. I have seen it in my life. I look back at my own life. I can see that most of the meaningful things were not really planned by my mind. Even the gurus, the spiritual masters, path of spirituality, it seemed to enter in my life very naturally. I had not deliberately decided anywhere that this is the goal I must reach, or this is my goal, or and this is how I'll reach it. These are the courses I need to do. And I never planned anything. And when I look beyond spirituality, then I can see the same pattern in other areas of my life too. Some of the decisions turned out to be deeply right, and they gave me satisfaction because there was less mental interference, less forcing, less controlling the calculation that keeps happening. So naturally, some things were already happening, but through this course and through the practices that we have done, we are getting more conscious of this flow. How this right action can really let us enjoy life the way it is meant to be. Right? So, Babaji explains the word right here later in this phrase, that how do we recognize that action is right? Not simply because the mind says it is right. Okay, this is a great thing to do. This is spiritual, or this will help people, or probably I'll go donate something. I want to open a school for poor kids. No, these are very noble thoughts, but we have to recognize it more by the experience and qualities that opens to us. Right action moves us toward the experience of God's qualities. That is how we verify that we are really aligned with the right thought, correct thought. So he says that it moves us towards God qualities of clarity, fearlessness, and genuine, meaningful contribution. But here again, we have to be very careful because the mind may have already have its own definition of meaningful contribution. And we think about contribution meaning doing charity work or some kind of volunteering, sacrificing for others, or doing something for the society at large. Yeah, that is, we have some of those perceptions in our mind. They are not bad. They can be forms of contribution, but sometimes meaningful contributions could also be just doing what you do, simply being in the present moment, whatever work you are doing, You just do it with integrity. It may mean building a business well. It may mean caring for your home well, raising a child with awareness. It can also be meaningful contribution to society. Somebody wants to create music, that also could be a meaningful contribution to society. Somebody wants to do art, those are also forms of contribution. That's how that he's widening our that aspect, that meaningful contribution. How do we see it? Contribution may not have to necessarily look something noble, something grand from outside. Even doing small things wherever you are, with complete integrity, with complete, being in the present moment without driven by that mental chatter, that is also going to result in a meaningful contribution. So you'll have a natural sense of fulfillment in the action itself. Then we are not doing anything to prove our worth or to fit that idea that what a meaningful life should look like. The quality we bring into the moment, we bring it becomes our contribution. That is our meaningful contribution. So instead of only asking, is this a good action, we have to look in and ask that what quality is this action leading me towards, and from what inner space am I doing this action. So we could do charity, there are many hidden aspects to all these desires. If we are doing some charity work, we want to open a school, or we want to contribute what we think may be a meaningful contribution, or even if we want to buy a house, we want to buy a car, or some kind of goal or desire you have, you have to see, you have to check that thought, that is, if doing this thing is just to feel superior or to be appreciated or just to remove some kind of guilt, or it is coming through different influences just because that person has, I need to have, or just this because this person is doing such and such thing, I need to do it. So outer action may look noble, but the inner thing is still some sort of conditioning is driving your desire. So in that case, I'll never feel productive, never fulfilled, never enjoyable again. So other hand, meaningful contribution again, like I told, it can take completely different forms. So just widen your aspect also here of doing meaningful contribution. So right action here is not decided by the label of the action. It is recognized through the quality and alignment behind it. So that paragraph, I would ask everyone to read it multiple times so that, it gets ingrained in our system, because it's very important. We think, there are many examples over there. So just think over it, whatever comes to you, write it down. Now, moving on to the exercises, it is saying that we may have written down our desires a few weeks ago. We wrote it down when we started part 3. So we look at the list again, and we have also identified that what thoughts are holding us back from those experiences. So we can go deeper and we can ask that how true were these desires in themselves? Were they just arising, were they really aligned with God's thought, or it was only coming from some sort of fear, comparison, conditioning, expectations, need for approval? And sometimes it's our own idea that this is how a good life should look like. So we have to check deeply into our desires and refine our desires. They are our true desires, but what is the space it is coming from? We have to clear that noise over there. So desire itself is not good or bad, but to see what thought is giving birth to it, and where have I concluded that this kind of work is the most meaningful way to contribute to society, or where have I concluded that this position or this thing, if I do, it is the measurement of success or my worth. Or somewhere we have like, we want our child to achieve something, because somewhere quietly it is inside me that achievement gives respect, it gives a very successful future, those kind of thoughts. And those thoughts are just not thoughts, it creates a trail of experiences. Sometimes we have this thing of having a bigger house. Do I really want a big house genuinely for some space and ease, or just because somewhere I've concluded that a smaller house means lack, it's limitation, or like I have not progressed in life enough? So you have to look behind your desires. We are just checking the meaning we have attached to it. So is this really my true desire? Or my mind has made this particular form necessary for me to feel fulfilled, abundant, successful, and useful? So this is the work we have to do. So first exercise here is about the process itself, that write a creating formula asking for guidance in achieving spontaneous right action. So in your quiet period, we have done this exercise yesterday, that get your higher self uh, on board and then create a formula, check the formula with yes and no signal. So Babaji wants us to first become aligned with the right thought. He's making first that alignment through this formula, and then from this formula, the right action will arise naturally when we have released those thoughts. And then we work with our desires or what we want to experience, that we are coming from the right place. So the second exercise is, we will be choosing one experience from our earlier list, or any experience which you can easily relate to. It sounds like it can be done. Then take that list which is believable and attainable, that goal, and create a formula to experience that desire. But before creating it, it is saying that you have to ask your higher self, is it in my highest and wisest interest to experience this? And if the answer is yes, then write a creative formula for that experience. So this is very important, that we ask the higher self, because now we know that is it in my highest and wisest interest, means that am I starting from the right point? That's the internal check we have to do also. So after that, once we have created the claim, this process is same. We check all the thoughts that are interfering with that experience, and then we also check the correctness of the formula with the yes and no signals. The correctness of the formula is only for you to know. You relate to that formula more easily. You can remember it. Don't make it so complex that you don't remember it. So unless you get a yes from either your physical signal or a yes intuitively, this is what I can remember. This seems to be like I can put that thought in my mind. So he's saying later that we are learning, so don't don't choose something that you will not be able to believe only. So choose something easy, choose something believable, so that we know how the process works. So he is basically training the instrument first through the first formula, and then playing one simple piece through it. That's the second second formula is doing that. Tuning, and then one tune has to be played from it. So the word of caution here is that don't rush to use higher self to choose all your actions. First, train the instrument enough, get into the right alignment, and then let the actions emerge on its own. So keep doing small, simple experiments and don't rush it, because we all are still learning, and we are all learning to see the movement of our mind. So keep practicing till they become natural to you and you are in more alignment with your higher self. Then all your actions will be spontaneous and give you the experience of all the God qualities. So that is how I would conclude this chapter for today. Thank you again for listening.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. I hope it becomes now. There can't be any easier explanation of this chapter. You made it so simple and easy. Our repetition of the chapter summary helps clarify things in a deeper way. Each of you express it in your own style with your examples, and it clicks for some people. So it's really good. Thank you. The significance of this chapter, as all of you must have understood now, is really, really practical for day-to-day life. When Nehaji started, at that time I got a thought and it has stuck in my head. And that was like, it started with her very first sentence. In English, it's not so, but in Hindi, there is a word called patra. Patra means vessel, literal meaning vessel. But it is also used for the actors in a play. The same word, right? The role that actor is playing is called patra. So understand why the same word has been used there. There must be a connection, right? And that thought has been triggered in my head and it's going on since that time, that each one of us is a patra. Patra means a contained volume, right? There is a contained volume. It has a capacity. It can hold a certain amount of whatever content comes in. And the same is true for the patra on the stage. That patra has a specific role to play, and he does exactly as that role is defined, performs according to the definition. And in this chapter, we have been told that you have a role to play. So all of us we have been given a specific volume, a specific capacity, and also the freedom to choose. Imagine how important now it becomes for us to utilize this limited volume for the best results. Now, think of a small house. You will need to keep it so well organized so that that house is not becoming your limitation. Right? Everything is you have got enough storage space, you've got everything properly organized, you can fetch whatever you need whenever you need. And so even a small space becomes comfortable for you, becomes a good experience for you. And the same thing is valid for us as well. As limited beings, because of the limitation of our capacity, we need to use it appropriately. Keep it organized, keep it clean, and make it the best possible experience for you. And how can we do that? If you have let's say, think of your house, if it's a small house, for example, how do you maintain it such that it remains useful for you. Regular maintenance, regular cleanup, regular organization, reorganization. Then only the space remains useful for you. Right? So understanding this is very important, that the character play the person who's playing a character on the stage also doesn't play the same character every day. Keeps on changing the role, right? He's an actor. He keeps whatever role is given, he just goes and plays. The same thing is valid for us also. We need to continuously watch where am I, and then clean up whatever is not necessary, and then bring in what is needed. Then my space remains useful. So as a being, as a human being, we all need to understand this principle. So here is where your intelligence plays a role. Now your intelligence will say, okay, I have only this much space in my bag. What all can I carry for the trip? You will make best use of that space. You don't want to burden it also, because you have to carry the bag. So you will pick up the lightest possible things, but whatever is most important, based on priority. Right? In your bag, you will carry that. The same thing we need to remember. Our mind is again like a vessel, just like that patra. It keeps changing itself. It keeps changing its role. It keeps playing a role depending on wherever it is directed to. And who is the director? We know it, right? Chapter 6. Who is the director? We are the directors. It's our responsibility to keep the patra perfectly in order. So this is the thought that came to me. You can all think deeper about it as to our connection to our all-knowing intelligence, how important it is now. If I keep this patra in a state of flow, it will never become stale. You keep replenishing the content, refresh the content continuously. That is the lesson for me today. I hope it will make some sense for all of you.
It is deep and totally making us reflect deeply. And one line clicked me today, that everybody wants to do the right action, but rarely somebody thinks that it's a right action. They just do because that's what they think. That's the only thing that can be done. And that comes from belief system that we are living. So I loved the way Neha ji put everything, one thought and many aspects. So even the chapter number 7 is getting clearer, that what are those aspects of one thought, and that creates our experience. So where we cling to, what our perceptions are. So that that silent habit of thinking in the same way, it keeps on going, and then it becomes difficult. And only once we have to recognize that I am on my old track. That moment is the moment of shift we all want to achieve at this point of time. Maybe just drop that thought in a moment. Maybe you want to change it, but ask a question, why I'm thinking this. So every experience, and I question myself why it happened to me. And I think that's the best awareness that we can develop to do the right action. And the moment she was saying that, you ask your higher self for the highest or wisest action, and that wisest and highest, we understand this is in my perfect best good. That's my highest best thing. But the wisest is the right action. And that wisest is coming from the all-knowing intelligence. It's not defined by anybody else, but that wisest is all-knowing intelligence. And that we will be using again in chapter number 15. So the difference in summary is, especially in the later part of the sessions, are more reflective, more deep, and that's how she's saying that, you know, the Hindi session and English session, they go different because it's the day 2 of practice and day 3 of practice for us also. And the way, and she has the ability to put all these thoughts together, and I just loved every precision the way she put. And especially if you see that right action related to the social service that we want to do, that's where we can find ourselves how much we are into belief system. Yes, something is driving me to do something, but what that something is, that's where we want to stop and think back again. So these are the small things. I think when we keep repeating, listening the same thing, that's why Babaji is asking to read the chapter again and again. It's not reading the words again and again. It's the experience I'm getting in a different day, all 7 days, my state is different. Sometimes I don't even want to read this chapter because, you know, something is triggering inside me. Something is putting me in discomfort. Oh, I have to change this. How can I change this? So that's why it's important to read even the same words all 7 days, different times, and little by little. Only when I am fully focused, ready to receive, then it creates a certain, you know, experiences, and all our life reflection will come along with the chapter. What my perceptions are, what I would think in the same given example in the chapter, what I would think in this situation. Reflect in that moment. And also I think it's more important day by day, just like I'm seeing in myself, that checking, is this thought is a God's thought? It has the God quality? Or just keep thinking and keep living the life the same way, then this journey will be impossible. This little awareness. It doesn't have to be perfect in the first go, but yeah, just being aware of where I am, how much percentage I can shift myself. Take back one step, right? So thank you, Nehaji, for every time you speak, and I just enjoy because it helps me connect deeply at so many places.
Like thanks to you all also as well, because you know, like each day I do hear the chapter from everyone, but and how this whole chapter reading and listening, you know, it kind of clears your perception as we progress. So that's what Shailesh is saying, that the patra, you know, it keeps changing. So we also kind of keep dropping our perceptions, and our patra is changing, and we are receiving more from this book. And this has happened. The book is same, the words are same, but every time something different is coming because we are becoming more clear. So that is the beauty of all these practices.
Even in the 7 days, our path changes. We can see.
Yes, true. It's very true. Yes.
And when we become aware of our own patra, we also begin to see everyone else as a patra. They have a specific volume, specific capacity, and they are also constantly playing a role, which is different every day. Every moment it is different. It is changing. This is how the universe functions in a changing, expanding manner. So that change comes from our roles. This is where the contribution comes from, right? A mosquito, it doesn't seem to be making any contribution. But if it exists in the God's thought, there must be a reason. it is contributing in its own little way. Think about that one mosquito that is also created from love and is connected to me through that love. That is the connection. So if it flies, it is feeling joy, I will feel joy. But if I start pestering it, it will become afraid and I will feel that fear too. This is how everything is connected. So recognizing that everyone else and everything else around me is also a patra. That is the characteristic. They are playing a role. Tiniest thing in this universe, the bacteria in your stomach plays a role. Everything plays a role. So we all, once we are conscious of that, we begin to connect. We begin to understand. We begin to see the beauty of the creation. How everything brings love to me. That mosquito coming and making noise in my ear, start enjoying it once. Once just think of it like a song, right? It's a song. It's a mosquito song. Think of it like a mosquito song, and then you see you would want to hear more of it. Hey, where did it go? I want to hear more. Let me understand. What is he saying? Think about in just shift your awareness in a different direction, and you will start seeing a difference. Your attitude towards mosquitoes will change. And trust me, they will not bother you. Once you've done
They
that,
stopped
they will
bothering
not.
me long back.
Ah,
I used to sit in the garden and they will be sitting on me, and somebody will come and fly it. I won't
yes.
feel it's there. It's not that I'm not aware, it doesn't hurt me. And if I see, I'll just do a little bit of touch, it'll go away. But it's been long, even staying in India. My son is getting all the body is getting spots, mosquito bites. But I have none, or maybe some, but I'm not bothered. So it's that harmony. I don't know how it develops. The way he is explaining that you just start enjoying, don't get annoyed, and it becomes part of you.
Yes.
And it is so beautiful to remind ourselves where I am contributing to which energy. If I am fearful, if I am irritated, that's if I'm serving peace on the dining table, I'm contributing to peace in the universe. The
Ah,
biggest charity. That is what Babaji is taking us to.
correct. And however micro things may be, however small they may be, they have a contribution. Just like me, just like you, just like all of us. Everyone is contributing in our own unique way. That's why we are unique. We have a purpose, right? There is that thought behind my being here, right? God needs a character like Shailesh in the drama. Without that, the drama will not have fun. Okay, so he created Shailesh. That's how it is. And I, in my own unique way. So this is where spontaneity will come. I have to perform my play in my own unique way, not copying Shah Rukh Khan, not copying Amitabh Bachchan. I have to be just Shailesh, the most authentic Shailesh. And that's what each one of us has to be. Then only our contribution is maximized. So a very nice um, information gathered with that, the whole thing.
One more thought I will leave to everybody, because we have shared ours from our end. Reaction versus being spontaneous. Just put a little bit more thought that, I can differentiate in myself. It's not about the understanding the concept, but when I am expressing myself or in my day-to-day being, how I am differentiating the two. Is the chapter definition is aligning to my practice? I am stuck there. I mean, like, many times I have to think that is it coming from there or is it coming from there? where it is coming from. So just take that awareness to the action and see how it changes. Then the chapter will be more meaningful. I made a few more addition to our activity workbook while Nehaji was explaining, considering this particular topic.
And you have to be on a constant watch. And since like the second part has started, I mean, of course, I'm aware of my thoughts, but this awareness has gone a level ahead now. So it's working very deeply, and a lot of release is happening. So, and also probably it's the lunar eclipse, and this time also, I think a lot of things are coming forward, and it's making me more clearer. That's all I can say. It's making everything more clear.
The more it is clear in the head, it becomes natural to live. You know, just think of aura clearing affirmation. How much ever we have practiced, and I can tell you about myself, it's been 3 years. Still, when I am in some big influence, under some big influence, I will forget the affirmation. And we have been continuously doing it. How many times we have been doing it? I will forget the lines. One day I had to just play my own shots that we recorded to clear the hour. I was in such a terrible state. But that I found a way to do it because I wanted. That's my choice. You know, something bigger I have encountered, and I'm just surrendering. Now I know at least what to do. So that could even happen, you know. So don't give up when you think, oh, nothing is happening. This 6 month is only to learn a new language, to develop a new perspective, but the application goes lifelong.
Yes. So Sheelamji, I will just answer Sheelamji about the buzzing of the mosquito. Did you ever like think a little bit on why does the mosquito buzzing in my ear bother me? Why does it bother me? Think about it. You are thinking it's because of the past experience of the bite, right? That is, I would say it plays a small role in it, but the primary thing what that is happening is the mosquito is trying to bring you into the present moment. Come connect with nature. And your mind is busy somewhere. And because your mind doesn't want to move from there, you feel that irritation. You still want to be there in your la la land, right? The bite is the end. At the end, when you are not listening, then only it comes and bites.
No. When it comes close, you know that it's going to bite me. When the itching comes, you realize it is already bit, it's too late. So when it buzzes, only you want to take care it doesn't bite you. Because
Not.
any time mosquito bite, I will scratch till my skin is gone. That's why that fear of that mosquitoes buzzing. I
So
just don't want to.
now think about it as to what will you do that mosquito will come and buzz but not bite you?
It will bite. Its nature is to bite.
You see, you are manifesting the bite.
Even if I don't manifest, just sit and watch. You will find it has already bit you. Trying to listen to
Mosquito
it. But
around you is bringing you in the present moment. If you
Yeah.
are getting the buzz, it is just telling you come back from your dream and you are saying, let me enjoy more. My
no,
body is
yes.
here, but my mind is somewhere else. You will check,
No, no.
that's what
My
you will find.
mind comes immediately to present because I know that it's giving a signal of a catastrophe of a mosquito bite. I will not say,
So, so,
wait, I want to be in La La
so
Land.
then the
Because
connection is like, oh no, you are again here to suck my blood, leaving some more, being especially being a doctor,
no, no,
malaria or
sucking.
what, dengue.
No, sucking blood is no problem, but that itching is so much till my skin comes off. So what I'm saying, we are from south where we have a lot of rains and mosquitoes. So mosquito is one thing which I always dread. Being now in Dubai, we don't have mosquitoes here. So it's so peaceful, you know. I was in India recently and it was raining and the mosquitoes buzzing at night. Won't sit, allow me to sit for 2 minutes in peace, you know. So it brings you to the present. I agree that be alert. I'm ready here to bite you. So come to the present situation. That part I 100% agree with you, Prabhu. But I don't want to hear more of that buzzing. Like Shailesh, you were saying, let me listen more of it. No, I will not want to listen more of any other music. I will listen, but not buzzing of the mosquitoes.
I will wait. I will wait. One day you are going to come back and tell me that yes, I love the mosquitoes coming and buzzing.
Definitely not, Shailaji. That's why I dread rain and rainy season in India, because you can't avoid it, you know.
Yeah, that is okay. This, as long as we are not in harmony with nature, our experiences will be that way only. Once we are in harmony with nature, the experiences become perfect and beautiful.
No, harmony with nature for everything. True, I agree with you. I love nature. I love to, like this time in America, we went to the redwood forest. My God, it was so enchanting. I was telling my daughter when there were tables where they can sit and have some picnic. Like I said, I feel like sitting and doing my unified course here under these trees, where there's so much of nature
Did-
and silence.
Were you able to
So
sit there for some time?
we couldn't sit because they were in a hurry to go. Children are there. No, that's the
Trust
issue.
me, trust me, if you sat there for 10 minutes, a mosquito bigger than the Indian
No,
one, they have much bigger mosquito, would have
no,
come
I
and
didn't find any mosquito. We sat there. We sat in one place where we sat and ate. But there I never found America and Dubai, I've never seen mosquitoes.
oh, you haven't seen. I have seen all kinds. Here in Canada, the mosquitoes are real big. Their size is, I mean, like, I one day I was wondering, is it a mosquito or is it a spider?
Dragonfly.
Spider
Mm,
kind of thing, right? Very big.
mm,
So
mm.
it's um, the last bite of my mosquito. I will explain to you what happened was. I saw it on my hand. It came and sat there, and I lovingly, at that time we were learning Unified. I said, "Okay, come, treat yourself with my blood. It has lot of love in it."
Mm.
And I allowed it to sit, and it did whatever it needed to do. I had absolutely no irritation after that. And ever since, no mosquito has ever come and sat on me. Never.
So it is a
So
love that I should have given to the rich mosquitoes.
understand this thing. You are saying I love nature, but you are also simultaneously saying that I don't like the rains in India. That is
No, no,
nature.
because no, the rains have brought experiences of mosquitoes, accidents, loss of power,
Exactly. Yeah,
you know.
so is every other experience in life. But do we remain stuck to the experience? We can. We can resurrect that experience again and again and again in our life, but we can also conclude that experience and say, okay, thank you so much. I have learned. We are done with it. I release. It's not just the mosquito, it's just an example, but everything else is an experience. And every experience, we need to learn to refresh this pot, the patra needs to be refreshed. The more you hold in it, the more the mosquitoes will be born there.
Not only mosquitoes, Shailashi, with this present days, because of lot of building construction, there's no breeze. So when there's no current, it becomes so sultry and you're actually perspiring as if it is like a midsummer heat in spite of rain. So, and added to that, the mosquitoes. Added, you hear of skidding and accidents, and you know.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I don't know. From childhood, this sort of things has brought that this thing. Here, we never lose current, even if there's the biggest rain. We have no current shortage.
Uh,
There are 8 hours no current at a
uh,
stretch.
mhm.
So, this is a experience.
I fully agree with you because it's all about where my awareness is. So when I come to Dubai, my awareness goes on good things. When I go to India, my awareness goes on to bad things. And what is the connection? connection
Experience.
is my past. My past. Right?
Not only
So
past, the present also. I
ah,
also thought actually it is better
everything
now.
what you are calling is present is past only. Right?
No, past,
You,
yes. But I was thinking it's better because I never thought the electricity shortage. I mean, even now, after 30 years of my living in India, those
right.
days, because of rain, the electricity pole falls, wires are cut. But now, nothing. They always shortage, so they just put it up for 8 hours.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying,
See,
not improved from the past.
I agree. But what I'm saying is that where our awareness goes, that is what we manifest.
Mm.
Whatever our awareness goes to, we will manifest that. Right? So,
Mm.
because we think about it, like when I decided to shift my awareness from scarcity, I was moved out of India. That's it. My environment changed. So my experience changed. That's it. So no more scarcity. And I feel that, okay, my manifestation has taken place. For my experience, the universe will not change. Universe has its own way. It will keep going the way it is. What happens is my experience changes depending on where my awareness is.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually,
Ah,
my still deep rooted is to go back to Manipal only. I'm not to change my atmosphere, but learn to accept that atmosphere. And
correct.
as you said, the
Mhm.
mosquito bit you, but you said, okay, take my loving blood. So the love was so much that it never caused any irritation to you, probably.
Think about it. If your true desire is to go back to Manipal, if that is your true desire, you can actually manifest it with the experience of love.
I
You
got
will
it.
you
Yeah.
will be in Manipal and you will receive love
Enjoy.
only from everywhere.
Yeah,
Your
I got it.
experience, right? Manipal will have its own issues, no
Mm.
problem. But your experience will be that of love, the God qualities, if you are aligned, right?
Yeah, I got
So
it.
our control is on our experience, not on the
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
We don't control the universe. We control our experience through the thought. As simple as that, right? So yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for correcting my thoughts.
Thank you.
It's part of part three. So we'll
Yeah.
work there, working with
Yeah.
nature,
Yes.
communicating with nature. So you are going to get more tasks.
Mhm.
Say what right time has come for me. So get prepared to go back and be in love with everything there.
You don't even have to go back. Just start being in that state of acceptance for Manipal.
Yeah. No, no, I'm
Just
just saying,
start. Just start right where you are from there.
starting
No
ground has started.
interfering thoughts.
Uh,
Just now,
That when
Neha ji sent us a reminder, no interfering thoughts of fear or your own perception, holding you back from it.
yeah, very true.
hmm. Excellent. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Nehaji, let's carry on.
Yes, yes. Let's understand this more with the practice because we have just finished the whole thing that everything starts with a thought and we focus more on the action part. We don't see that it leads to an experience and we have to start from the thought. That's what the book is saying, that we have to start from the thought if we have to change our experiences. And so we will work on that today. So everyone, please get ready and
We
you
all
can sit
want to change
comfortably.
our experience, but no change in our being. So that's where the problem is. So to change my experience, I don't have to change anything but my own thinking. So take that responsibility. Don't say that unified doesn't work or this doesn't work. Initially, I always remember the phase of evolution. So even the ABA cleaning affirmation, the aura cleaning affirmation, they used to be like a lot of doing, right? Now, if you look inside, sometimes it's happening already. So initial struggle will be there, and that will be these 7 days, and we will become comfortable with it. So keep practicing and bring awareness, continuous awareness. Change the question. The source of this experience is my own thought. That's all. Sorry, Nehaji, it was just, I was just hung to this spot. So I thought
It's okay. It's completely fine.
Thank you.
We'll discuss more about it after the session because this is important for manifestation. We are learning about it. So it is important to go into the depths of it. So let's start the practice. Let's come together. First, ground ourselves in this moment with few deep breaths in and out, completely coming in acceptance with everything inside us, around us. A lot has been said, a lot is going on, a lot to be understood. But let this all-knowing intelligence take care of it. Let us not force any type of understanding. If we don't feel ready for it, the natural laws of creation, this divine order will take care of everything. The only thing that we can do is be aware. Be aware every moment. Be aware that we are love. Everything else are false imaginations, illusions, mind-created fantasies. It's not the truth. Let's be more conscious about our awareness. Drop those filters, drop those old habits, patterns, the old ways of thinking, what is right, what is wrong. Just leave them behind. Completely relax. Relax your whole body. Bring your breath, your body in complete alignment first. Relax your toes, your ankles, your shin and calf muscles, knees, thighs. Loosen it. Let it loose, let it go. Hips, relax and sit. Your abdomen, lower back. Relax, let it go. Check if it's too tight, release. Come to the upper abdomen. Your chest and heart area relax. Shoulders drop down, comfortable. Mid back and upper back completely relaxed. Feel this flow of love. Your arms, your fingers, all relaxed. Your neck, face, eyebrows. There is tension, just release, release, release. Nose, lips, and cheeks. All relaxed. Your head, all the hair follicles. It may feel heavy. Just take a deep breath in. Inhale and take it up to the head and drop it down. Like a waterfall. And relax completely. Just bring yourself in this moment. And feel your breath in your heart. Bring them in complete rhythm as naturally as you can. This divine intelligence making our body move, our breath move in and out. All the organs functioning as they should. All the cells renewing as they should, without us knowing about it. Just feel our body functions perfectly when the mind doesn't create any story out of it. As children, we were perfect as we were. There were no stories of, no fears of health, no fears of, no insecurities of money. We didn't know how our life would look like. We were this carefree young soul, unbothered by the stories of the mind. Enjoying the innocence of life as it is. almost living in surrender to this intelligence. That version of you still exists. In all its uniqueness, in all its completeness, all its wholeness. There's nothing missing. This joy is always there. Joy of being ourselves. Where there is no separation. We saw everyone as our friend. We were open to all new experiences. Bring those memories back. And feel that joy, that love, that feeling of fullness that you had as a child. Your body remembers it. It has stored all the information. Bring that back and feel this space. Feel your aura, beautiful aura around you. And whatever uninvited influences have come into our aura, presence of thoughts, the patterns, the habits, that have given us the experiences that we never desired. Let's clear them all and send them to their perfect place by saying or repeating, I send love and light to all uninvited influences who have come into my aura. Feel each sentence before you go on to the next. You are whole and healed. You are created as love and light. And you are still love and light. You are not in pain. And you are not afraid. I request my higher self to guide you to your perfect place. Each of you go in peace. Each of you go in love. Each of you go in light. I now close my aura to all except my higher self. And I send love and light to all thought forms around me. Because I'm not here to fight with my thoughts. I'm not here to label them as good, bad, ugly. I'm here to see them as they are. I'm here to see them as experiences and not attach my identity to it. Center yourself in your heart and get your higher self signal. In any way or form that you can relate. Become one with your higher self. And state your intention today. I am here to get guidance on achieving spontaneous right action. And see what follows from inside after this thought. Ask your higher self, for the right words of your claim. And just keep that claim in front of you. If you have a claim already, you can practice with that. We'll practice common claim for the group practice. God and I claim and accept that I achieve spontaneous right action. And I trust my higher self. Forgiveness and thanks. Amen. Now let's bring this by feeling this claim word by word, each word aligning our thoughts, aligning us to our truth, aligning us to God. God is love. I am love. God is peace, joy, gentleness. I am peace, joy, gentleness. God is abundance. I am abundance. God is all-knowing intelligence. I am all-knowing intelligence. Creative power of thought lies with me. And like God and His thought are not separate, I am also not separate from my thought. I am one with the Creator, and I am a creator. God is non-judgmental. I am non-judgmental. As I accept all parts of me, which take me back to my wholeness, my perfection, my abundance. I am made in the image of God. I am unified. All the God qualities flow through me. Claim my power back. And I claim that I'm here to achieve spontaneous right action. And I trust my higher self. And I accept the thought that that I'm receiving spontaneous right action. And I trust my higher self. And I release, I heal all those thoughts that interfere with this claim now. Rest in this space and let's see what thoughts are coming. You can open your eyes and write them down. Sometimes we think that we need to know it all before proceeding. We want to control. We don't let the intelligence do its work. We always think, if I don't do it, if I don't plan, then how will it happen? I have to take charge of things. I still feel that since I'm not getting my higher self signal, higher self is not there with me. I cannot trust the guidance which comes from within. Unknowns are too scary for me. I need to know everything. I already know what is best for me. I don't need that guidance. I'm a very logical person. I always look for meaning and purpose behind things. These are the kind of thoughts which interfere with our all-knowing intelligence. You could elaborate your own thought. And take your time to heal and correct that thought. Place it with the correct thought. Let the guidance come with the most beautiful words, the easiest and simplest for you to remember. And gently, with all your awareness, say, I heal and release the old thoughts. And then I accept the new thought, whatever your thought is. I accept that I'm open to inner knowing. I accept that I'm open to what my higher self has to say. And just heal, just release all the old thoughts by saying, I heal and release from now on all those thoughts, conscious or subconscious, which were there interfering with my experiences. I release all the knowns and unknowns. And now I align my thought with the thought of God. My thoughts are now one with God, in tune with God's thought. My heart is in state of forgiveness. Because I realize I was the creator of my own story. There's no grudge, nothing to blame, nobody to be held accountable. Heart is its state of forgiveness and love. I thank God for letting me experience the joy of spontaneous right action. Letting me to correct my thoughts, align my thought with my nature. My claim is now created. And now I release this claim to God and the natural laws of creation. Amen. Bring your claim again and say it wholeheartedly, without any resistance. God and I claim and accept the thought that I achieve spontaneous right action. And I trust my higher self. With forgiveness and thanks. Amen. The moment you release all the thoughts, your claim comes alive. Because that is the only experience hidden behind all those filters. Experience of God's qualities, peace, abundance, love, joy, freedom. Everything right here, right now, in this very moment is available. Let us take this flow and ask our higher self for guidance to manifest our desire as our living experience. For this, you may bring forward a desire that you may have written. It seems attainable, achievable. It could be small or big. Whatever it is, just bring it in front of you and ask your higher self, is this desire or experience is in my highest and wisest interest? Wait for a yes and no signal from your higher self. Completely become aware of your body. Hand sensations. Any ease, a sense of ease or contraction. Any subtle body movement. That you've practiced as a yes. If a yes comes, then create a claim for manifesting that experience. And if a no comes, then ask again. Whatever claim you make for manifesting this desire, again check with your higher self for the right words for this claim. And work on the thoughts as much as you can. Heal and release all the old interfering thoughts. Accept the new thought. Keep your heart in forgiveness. Keep your heart in gratefulness. And release this claim in complete surrender and faith. for the natural laws to take care of it. And in your quiet time, you can work on this deeply. Understanding the wisest interest, the highest interest. What is a meaningful contribution? Let your higher self guide you. So let us be thankful to our higher self for all the guidance till now, all the wisdom, and all that help to drop our old beliefs, making our perception clear. Making us a unique and divine channel. Expressing its beautiful qualities. In the highest and wisest way. Let us thank Babaji for his presence every day, for the knowing that comes on its own effortlessly. This is coming home to ourselves, to where we belong. We always belonged. Now seal this space by saying, I close my aura to all except my higher self. Feel gratitude, love, joy, whatever you could name it, and let it expand. Let it flow through the entire creation. Let's replace fear with love. All the darkness with light. Keep a hand on your heart. Send this love wherever it needs the most. Wherever your awareness takes. Then send this love to your body. Your body is love. Is a beautiful manifestation of love. Once again, bring this body back into the awareness of the space wherever you are sitting. With closed eyes, just reimagine the room. And take a deep breath. And let's conclude the practice today. Whenever you're ready, you can take both your palms and keep on top of your eyes. And gently and softly and as lovingly as you can, open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience, your love, for the beautiful energy today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Masters, just drink some water because the energies are really high today. So take this time to ground yourself. Either you can write whatever you have reflected upon, anything new that you got.
By repeating all these practices over and over, it feels like this chapter is only bringing our awareness that, when you accept yourself fully and plug yourself with all-knowing intelligence, that's what you are. You will spontaneously do the right action. So check your release, whatever you are releasing. What is blocking me to express myself is my beliefs, where other people are interfering because I don't accept myself the way I am, or something that is holding me back is the same pattern, same kind of thought. So a lot of release is just recognizing that this is what I do when I say these things, the repeated patterns in me, and make a note of it. By seeing them itself without any judgment, it becomes my awareness that I choose not to do this, because we have been continuously choosing the God's thought and the God's quality, aligning to that. So another beautiful session for me. Thank you, Nehaji.
And the release is not going to happen because of the moon. The release is going to happen with our inner clearance of thoughts and correcting of thoughts. I just also want to add, because the real work is there.
Moon help
Until
us see them, because it will be on the surface, thrown out from the inside. So it's a lot of thought you will
Yes.
get. You will sometimes feel difficult to collect them, even to put them on paper. And that's where the
Yes.
main work is.
Yeah.
Yes, Ajayji.
Atmabandhan, Pritiji, Shaileshji, Nehaji, and others, masters. Actually, I don't know, because I saw some, I realized something today. I thought, is it my journey is different? So you have to bear with me. When the sages and saints and the seekers were looking at the creation and they are trying to understand it, the question was, what is the reality behind all these things? And then Taittiriya Upanishads provides the answer is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is Brahman. That's the reality. Satyam is existence, Jnanam is awareness, unlimited is what's the reality is. There is a beautiful omission, not omission exactly, the emphasis on the different aspects. Because also we know sometimes because Satchit and Ananda, existence, awareness, and bliss. But in Taittiriya Upanishad, it's an Anantam. Because there is sages and saints, their attraction is unlimited. Unlimited is fulfilled. So that is equated to Ananda. Though Taittiriya Upanishad has Ananda Bali, and there is defined Ananda, very beautifully scientifically is say that he should be a young man, then he should be healthy, he should be happy, and he should be all the riches in the world. So it's like 21,000 some odd it will go. Okay, so that's apart. But all the search was what's the reality, and the reality is existence, awareness, unlimited is that's the reality. And once you sink into it, then you are in a state of bliss. Babaji Maharaj went in a reverse way. Just like when he met in 1861, whom he is initiating into yoga? Lahiri Maharaj. He's a householder. When Krishna is trying to solve a problem, whose problem? It is Arjuna. He's a householder. He is confused. So his emphasis is not Satchit Ananda. It's total Ananda, awareness, and existence. This is something today I was holding on to that book for a pretty long time after my meditation. And that was the problem of Arjuna, and that's the problem of all of the householders. We are confused. Why? Why I don't feel fulfilled? Why there is no continuous state of bliss? I'm doing whatever is possible. Where I'm failing? So it was not existence awareness. It started with bliss. Oh, you want to be in bliss? Yes, let's be in bliss. Then he says, how you will have the bliss? So you have the glimpse of, okay, whatever the experiences of joy you had, so this is the dots, but it is not taking you there. So you align with awareness. And that awareness is of Brahman, or in other words, if God. So when you are aligned with God, then what happens? Your individual likes and dislikes, from where you are trying to manufacture these joys, which were temporary, which was unfulfilling, which was keeping you in bondage. So that escapes, that goes. And then you are established in that pure joy, bliss. So from bliss, he is coming to here. Because he's not saying that you go to the Himalayas, do meditate, and you will get bliss. Because that's what Arjuna wanted. No. He said, you are in thick of life, you are in a war. Similarly, we are in the war of life. You have to fight the war. There is no escape from there. But not as per your whims and caprices, your likes and dislikes. Align with me, align with the awareness, and fight. So he is just taken from the reverse. It's not Satyam Jnanam Anantam or Brahman. Satchid and Ananda. He said Anand and Chit and existence. I don't know whether the subsequent chapters, how they are going to define in existence. Somewhere he will definitely bring it into picture, because that will complete the picture. But this part two, part one, he was trying to piece together what is joy, all those definitions, giving, receiving, and part two is trying to align it with awareness, so where you will have the fulfillment. It's beautiful structured, beautifully he has taken up. And I see a lot of similarity between Bhagavad Gita and here. And that's perhaps if Adi Shankara would have been a householder, he would have picked up this aspect. Yeah, thank you.
As we are progressing, we are learning more and more. And definitely, yes, you are right. There is much more to come. We are going to be expanding in part 3. So from the basics to focusing on the self and then to expanding. So this is focusing on the self. Unless my stomach is filled, I can't feed others. So this is that part. I'm filling my stomach now. When I am satisfied, then I will start expanding and filling everybody else's stomach.
The book is
Yeah,
also giving us a living, how to live life
correct.
from the perspective of truth, how to live your truth. So again, the concept is the same as Gita, but it's like modern world of where our problem, where do we get stuck?
In fact, this chapter itself is Gita only, nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
I can see through it
the
how he does it.
the understanding. I would say this book is aligned with our Indian scriptures, the philosophy of Indian scriptures, in the one sense that it doesn't tell you what to do. And all our scriptures are like that. They say, when you do this, this is what happens. Right? You can dream. Just dream. I am Ananda. Okay, dream. Right? So what our scriptures, the wisdom in our scriptures is they don't tell you what to do. They just tell you, when you do this, this is what happens. When you're aligned with the thought that created this universe, this is what you will experience.
Hey, exactly. Krishna does that. In the 18th chapter, after all this, he says to Arjuna, now I have told you whatever I have to say. You do whatever you do. And Arjuna is saying, Nasta moham smriti labdhva. Now I have my moha, delusion is gone. Our delusion is our likes and dislikes. When you create our own little worlds, our likes and dislikes, that is the delusion. That's what Unified is saying. And that's what Arjuna is admitting. Oh, I was erring. Now I will, and he's saying, Tava Bachanam, now I will do as per what you have said. And this is what exactly Unified is saying. Go by my awareness. He is not saying my awareness, your higher self. Of course, the Lord and you are there. That level is one and the same. So it's beautifully structured, the whole thing. I am loving it. And
the entire presentation, the way information has been presented to us, it honors our free will.
absolutely.
Correct? The concept of free will is embedded indirectly in the entire presentation, in the entire book. It leaves it to us. We can always choose to do what we want to do. And in fact, that's the right thing to do also. Because the nature didn't create replicas. Nature created everyone unique, one at a time, one at a time. So that uniqueness doesn't need to be copied. So the same solution doesn't apply to everyone. That's why everyone can choose. The solutions are served on the platter. You do this, you get this, you do this, you get this. And the whole platter is there in front of me. All kinds of dishes are served. Now I can choose what I want to experience now. And that's how I live my uniqueness. I live my own being the way I am. So the whole philosophy, in fact, in brief, what I have just described is the meaning of the word dharma, which we will look at that in one of the future chapters. But ultimately, the understanding is that everyone has a different dharma. Why? Because we are unique. So my dharma is to become Shailesh, the perfect full potential of Shailesh. Right? That is my dharma, and so is for each one. Everyone has to become their own self. That is their dharma.
Yeah, actually, this uniqueness also, because of course it's I cannot do away with this knowledge, because existence and awareness is like a sea of existence. Just imagine it's a sea of existence. So everything in this world is floating in that sea of existence. So if my mobile is here, is floating, that means if it's existing, it was not existing now. It was not existing earlier. It is existing now, and it will not exist in the future. I know that. That means if its existence is not its property, then where from it now existing? So it has borrowed. That, like when you boil a potato become hot, but heat is not the intrinsic quality of a potato. So where from it got it? It got from the water, and water got it from suspense got it from fire. Similarly, if everything, whatever existing, including me, including this whole creation, trees, animals, whatever, all everything. So that means they were not there. They are existing, and we know after some time they will not there, including the sun, moon, and everything. Then that means they have borrowed existence. You take
Yes.
the existence out, they become non-existent. So existence is that reality. And similarly, that gold is the reality behind all the ornaments. And if we are existing, we have borrowed this existence. And existence, awareness, and bliss, they are three aspects of the same. It's like sun's rays is the heat and the light. So then you said, okay, I can understand. I have borrowed existence and awareness, but what happens to the glass? The glass is borrowed, okay, because it's not coming. Maybe the mouse, it's not, this mouse, maybe it is existing, but it is not aware. But what has happened? Why it didn't borrow awareness? Because it doesn't have the ability to borrow. The plant has the ability to borrow existence and awareness. And the stone only existence. Of course, they say that certain amount will definitely be there. Even in the stone also, little awareness will be there, little bliss will be there. So this is the basic, our nature. So that's why you are not getting it, because you have the free will. As you rightly said, everything is different, unique. That's your past experiences. You have created it, and you are taking that baggage. But behind all these things, the reality is existence and awareness and bliss. Bliss is inbuilt into it. So that's what he's saying. The love, you don't have to create love. You don't have to give, receive, because it's a flow, because it's there already. You don't create, you just manifest. When a mother is giving birth to a child, actually, she's not creating, she's manifesting. It was there in the seed form, it's just manifesting. That's why we say we don't create, because nobody can create anything, nobody can destroy anything. It's just you manifest, and then it just disappears again into seed form.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just taking it to
No,
some.
manifestation happens from awareness.
Yes.
Yeah. Awareness brings it into existence. Good. Perfect. Excellent. So are we in a mood to do the workbook today? Or shall we do it tomorrow?
Maybe you can do tomorrow.
Okay. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
Any questions if anybody has it from the chapter practice? We keep discussing, so if you have anything like that. There are two things, the first chapter says that you are everything, you are divine. But if we assume that, but the first chapter also reminds us you just have to do a little bit correction in your thinking. Your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are your experience, and from that point of view, you live your life and you see everything around. Right? So that disconnection is needed so that we can differentiate, and we can act being non-judgmental to that, right? So that we can work on it. What I learned in Vipassana, like you see the body sensation, you be with it, and you get tremendous amount of thought. You are irresistible pain, those kind of vibration, So watching that thought make the pattern release. And we all have felt, like whoever has attended, they felt a lot of peace and harmony. So the real work is to recognizing those thought pattern and being non-judgmental in that moment. And everything is put in place.
Yeah, actually, you are absolutely right. Because when you are in the thought itself, so you go with the flow. So all the ebb and fall. But when you watch it, that is that mindfulness. When you watch it, that is the distance between you and the thought. And once you maintain the distance between the thought and you, naturally thought will dissolve away because it is nothing substance in it. Because it has just assumed something and he has just experienced it. There is no reality there. The reality is awareness, and you are being aware of it. The moment you stand in awareness, it dissolves away. And that's what he is saying here. Stand with awareness, everything will dissolve and you will float in that flow of love.
And the awareness is where you do not accept yourself, where you become a judge. And when you are judged to yourself, you are judged to the world. That's what you keep doing. No, what is not right for you, you see others from that eye. You don't understand uniqueness. You keep comparing. You appreciate uniqueness, and the comparison will drop. You see that unique, what it says, that unique reflection of God's love. That's how it puts, right? So then there is no second thought. If you want to get inspired, you can be inspired, but that is also not needed. It is just that whatever thought I am picking under influence has to be flown through my higher self.
Correct.
But I am not getting rid of my old pattern or beliefs. So I am creating more miserable experience.
Yeah, because Prithiji, the thought comes only from past experience. You cannot think if you have not experienced something. You cannot think. So that means I had experienced it, and then when I store it, because not only in this life, in the earlier lives also, my experiences come with me. When the death, our mind travels, subtle mind travels, and with her that memories goes. And what memory? What I liked and what I disliked. So that means I have the same mind which is already colored. It's like a prism. So in that colored glass, I'm looking at my experiences now. and only mind is only one. And now when we come to spiritual side, we say, no, don't look through that prism, but look from your eye. So, but that is the same mind. So the solution is that the mind has also different layers. So slowly, when you read, be in satsang, be in this, because your mind becomes more sattvic. So when it becomes a little more sattvic, it's not dipped into that rasgulla like dipped. So slowly when you come out, you squeeze it out, samsara, then it is in a very peaceful, calm mind. Then it aligns with awareness of the God principle. And then the knowledge flows.
What I was trying to say is that you are right, the thoughts are coming from the past experience, but there are some thoughts that you would recognize is coming from your higher self. And that is the thought from all-knowing intelligence. That is the thought from your uniqueness. That is the thought of your being, you being desiring. You know what? I have always thought that, if there is no complaint or if there is no lack, there is no creation. The lack creates, right? The awareness to the lack, there is a creation. There is a complaint, then you create something out of it for that, to fix that. But then just now I just realized what is chapter 9 again saying, reminding that you don't have to go in that. If there is lack in your life, then you create. Go in that. You know what you are being expressed. Again, come back to this. So it's the same concept I would have shared in chapter number 9. But again, with current situation, put this here. We don't have to come to that attitude where I have to complain or I have to see lack. I have to just see what my present moment awareness is bringing to me, right? It's not a continuous thought process. It's not like weighing options or going to the past reference, but it is being aware in the heart center, and your higher self will give you that silent thought. And it's been giving to all of us, right?
Correct.
So as I said, that this particular chapter says spontaneous right action. The two things needed: one, that we learned about the self-acceptance, and second, we plugged the all-knowing intelligence. And the third one, very critical, is that uniqueness. Without the three, we cannot become a flow. So this particular chapter is the connecting or summary or the output of the first three chapters that we learned. But see, the beauty of Babaji is not first said that you can't desire. He said, you desire whatever you want. Even you desire from the God's thought you desire. You put that I want to experience abundance and love, joy, peace, harmony, and whatnot. But still, if you see today, what we're blocking, it was my own rejection of my own self.
Yeah.
My non-acceptance of
sorry.
uniqueness.
You had given a beautiful pointer, which I always use it, that where from this thought, where from it is coming, whatever reaction is coming, where from it is, what is at the back? You have pointed it out, and I always practice. Where from this thought is coming? Why this anger is coming? Where this jealousy is coming? Where is this frustration? What is there inside? From what is that platform which is giving this? So then once you look for that, then you know whether it is coming from your lower self or a higher self. Naturally.
Yeah. Also, I have seen this, the mind that we have, most of us here, who is involved in knowledge. So we are into that contemplation state always. So my thoughts are mostly of the, thinking of anything like the knowledge part. But then life brings us to people. That's where we can see those are the opportunities where my rejections are coming. This knowledge part is beautiful. I understand, I enjoy, I want to be with it. That's my choice. But at the same time, it is not in my action. So these practical exercises are like bringing awareness. Just because you have not seen love, it is present. You bring that awareness to that. A shift, You want to change your life. You want to experience the truth. But if you keep holding on what you were yesterday in ignorance, the same ignorance you are carrying. You're just saying, I am divine, I am one with God, I am unified, I am God's image, I am love. But when it comes to live, what experience you are creating?
Yeah, this is a living lab actually. Yeah, that is what it is. You have to live it. Otherwise, it's like you have a prescription on hand, but you don't take the medicine. You are not going to get cured.
And that,
Perhaps.
like the presence of higher self, we have definitely worked on it in our quiet period, but we have to carry through it throughout the day. If I am there, it's not my lower self or the past self. It is in that tunement. It's like upgrading to always. And for that, it is important that awareness is shifted to the heart. Heart is the home. It is the space of bliss, joy, love, and all-knowing intelligence. So there's nothing outside you, and that is you being love, you being expressing all the God qualities, love equal to all other God qualities that we have ever defined.
Yeah, the onus is on us only. There's nothing, no, not on anybody. Onus is on us, and it is such a beautiful tool
I
Babaji
enjoy
is giving us.
listening what you have been sharing and adding how much value it is, from the scriptures. But scriptures have been there, but we are failing to implement it somewhere.
Yes, we have not, because this
So,
was uh, uh, yeah, this was going on a different level, but it was not coming into the day-to-day life. Where Bhagavad Gita first time he did it and how to live, and now this book, this is really showing every moment you can live the life of your choice.
and the problems are not big; they're very simple. It's the same repeated problem of human mind, of this common society. So he can put those thoughts, and they're not much. They're like four, five, and everything is moving around that to some extent to somebody. Something is big problem to somebody. So it's just like that. So uh, uh, the affirmation, that is aura cleaning, sending love, these things are simply making it, I would say 75 times easier. Only 25% is our work, this awareness work in part two. And every moment, sometimes we don't even accept that we created this reality for ourselves. And because of why I'm saying this, because the mind, which is engrossed in jnanam, is thinking that, is always sticking to that. It's not thinking about, okay, something went wrong and something is in the under the carpet. It's very difficult. I have seen it multiple times. So Gyan is not the problem, but at the same time, we think that, we assume that I know. And I know is not equal to I live.
No, I experience, yeah, of course. No, I fully agree with you. I have no, because what I am doing, because I saw there, and now I am seeing how we can implement it in life. And I can see, where from Babaji is picking up all those thoughts. So that's where my Eureka moment is coming. Oh, from here it is picked up. So from here it's
And
coming.
trust me, it's not possible without the higher self signal, the heart ka spandan. Who will tell you? Nobody is going to come. Babaji is never going to come in front of us that you are not doing this right or wrong. I gave you the signature. You find yourself that you are on the track or not. You are in, like, you are manipulating yourself. You're justifying yourself. With Gyan, we justify. With Gyan, we justify a lot why I did that. That's mine.
Intelligence, no, yeah, no. With intelligence we manipulate, and but it is also is coming through him only. I have a feeling it is coming through him. Um, yeah, it is. It is. I think the very fact that we are on this platform. So I feel it is everything is coming through him only.
It's important for all of us because those Gyan that you bring is inside all of us. Somebody has put it under the carpet. I don't want to say it has not worked in my past time. Somebody is still exploring, and somebody is adding to it. So we are all at doing the same thing. That's how we connected to the same platform, same thought pattern, process that we have, same attitude we have, and trying to explore.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think Babaji and others are waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay. Wonderful.
So you have to bear with me sometime.
It's
Thank you.
amazing. I just love the concept of like listening to Upanishads all the time, coming back to the concept. Like the stories, they're there. They're so fascinating to me.
Thank you.
Did Sheelamji want to ask something?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, Deepmalaji.
Atmavandan, all masters, Shailesh ji, Preeti ji, Neha ji. There is something I wanted to share, which was like, I felt that it is an experience of this spontaneous right action. So it's a very simple thing, and I will say it, it'll take more time than the time it happened in. So I have this helper, and he has 3 children, and then they have some guests. They came over, so they were at my door, and they were saying something. I wanted to give them hard-boiled sweets. So usually my process would be I would count the number of children, then how many I want to give each. So this time 2. So I would say okay, and then. But I just went to the place where I have kept these hard-boiled sweets. I just grabbed a handful. I went out and I said 2, 2, 2 for each one, and they were just the right amount. So, I thought it's not a rocket science, or it is not signing agreements, but I thought, okay, and then I remembered that whenever I'm soaking almonds, no matter how many number of people are there in the house, I just grab a handful and it turns out to be the right amount. So these things are already happening in our life, but since they're such small things, we don't pay attention. So there are so many things like this, like the tree I was sharing last week, that there was this whole tree which we had to uproot, and we had kept it, on the ground. So there were no roots touching anywhere, and still it was sprouting. And then I just had this thought, let's plant it in this barren plot which my nephew had. And Balaji so kindly and the helper, they carried it in the car and they planted it, and it started sprouting. So every time I go there in 2-3 days, it's such a beautiful sight that this is a brown tree. I actually wanted to share the pictures, but I thought, it'll be maybe too much for everybody. So it's just a barren thing, and it has these tiny little green sprouts on it. So we are actually doing these things in our life, only we are not in awareness. And I don't have knowledge of Upanishad or anything. Like I've said to my friends many times, like I don't know the gyan of it, but I know which way I have to go. If you ask me the name of the road, I don't know. But I know that this is the direction. I turn somewhere here and here, but I don't know the names of the roads or the localities, but I know the way. So it's exactly same here as well. Of course, I'm not doing 100%, as I always say. I'm the chore in the thing, but
I
I
don't
know that.
see that. I see you do so much.
The other thing is, today I was telling the helper boy that there is a sack which I got for clay to make some bird houses, and since this was the exercise you had given, so I said, "Oh, beta, I want you to go and put water there in that little bag which is outside, because dried up. I got it 2-3 months back." So he said, "Madam, I have already put water in there. I just thought I should wet it." So these things, these are little things, but they're I had them all my life, but now this is bringing it to my realization that it is what I mean. I don't know, it is. It is, that's it. So there are so many things. The problem, which I see, which I had, was that I had all these lovely experiences, but they were put in the wrong compartments. So now that when we are doing this course and we're going through various things, then we are bringing out each of these experiences, putting it in the right slot, and then things are like appearing different than what they were. Like having abundance, having access to knowledge, having love, all that was there, but it was put in the wrong places. So my puzzle was not working out because all the pieces were incorrectly placed. Now I'm just taking them out and putting them right. So thank you so much. It's been such an amazing journey. And I'm scared actually to do 100% because I probably, that's why I'm
I'm
only doing
enjoying this
80.
much only there for now.
Because I sometimes feel that if I really do it, then where would I be? And that's a very, very scary thought. Because then I wouldn't
Losing
be what
myself.
because as it is, I was unhappy because I was this way, because I felt sensitive about things. But then now that I have my boundaries, I can set them nicely. I don't have to be rude or anything. Also, when I have to be strict, I have begun in that way. Otherwise, I used to let everybody, okay, carry on, carry on. But now, because once I was that, but that was in a rude way, and then I became very soft and gentle, and then nothing was working. But this is a sort of, you've given a magic wand, which is clearing my way. So it's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The
Very,
first
very
paragraph.
small examples. But
No, they are not small. They are this chapter only. They're telling you that you are doing that. So chapter number 12, first paragraph. You dissect everything and you will see love. So that's what we are seeing. That you go back, reflect on your life, and that's what you will find. Very in that very moment, however your experience were. But if you look closely, underneath the fundamental thing you will find is love. So that's what we are doing.
that
So now,
concept of love is so clear to me now. I can feel it in everything. And these days, when I'm doing the quiet practice, I'm getting such sensations like since yesterday and the day before, in the tailbone, in the whole of backbone, somewhere near the neck, at the back. And I wake up with a sensation in my spine behind my heart. It's really awesome.
And those
So,
sensations are always present. It's not only in the quiet period. Even when you are just lying in the bed or just doing anything, even talking with somebody, you can be continuously aware of the thoughts and you will do the right action in that moment. Anything that has come and stuck on you, you will instantly just release it by just recognizing it and allowing yourself. For that, we just have to be, certain norms are there. We can never think and act, but we can always be and act. So that being is like tuning to this heart sensation, tuning to the body sensation is the tool. When I look back, even if in this situation I react, and when I look back the experience, I am not able to judge it. I find the truth behind it. I find the need behind it. It's not only my story. So that's why I shared one day that I am the story writer. There are other partners giving experiences, and I'm also getting experiences from them. And I'm also playing part in their life, not consciously creating trouble for them,
so
but
I always had this question.
spontaneously aligning to the situation, creating that story complete. There's one stage that you correct the story. There's another stage you change the story completely. So it's a two-step evolution. It's a leap. And
But
the
I
both
always
are
had this question about who, because in a situation where there are more people whose, manifestation will be. So now I got the answer that whoever is more aware and more tuned into the now, that person's manifestation will be stronger. So it could be anybody in the family. And then the person who's working on themselves, they can become aware and then carry on what you said just now. So that would
That's
be the
part
second.
3. You spread the love awareness, transmute everything. But until now, you just find and you just, align yourself. You just first, also, we have to embrace. I was watching this Mahadev. I will again bring this example where Parvati is offering flower and all, and she's thinking that she's like, a generous, kind woman, kind of thing. And then there are Sadhu, Agodi, they are offering meat with love. And that's the moment where it was shown that Shivji accepted the prasad. And it was just to show that, the puja is in the heart. It's not in the act. Just to give that message. Because I'm not telling to offer meat or anything, but I'm just telling our attachment to what we do is the problem. And sometimes, we have to shift from our state. So that is what life is like. People, all sort of people around, and we are amongst the 8 billion people in that ocean, in that consciousness. We are touched the changing frequency of our sea throughout the day, morning to evening. How many consciousness we are touching in those moments? And are we getting frustrated in the prabhav, or we are aware and send love and light and just be?
So whenever I reflect and I see whatever, because most of my decisions I had shared many times are from my heart, and I mean from my feeling level. So they whichever, and there were some in decisions, major decisions, where I was like, okay, what will this X say? What will Y say? And then those decisions I regret. I have a sense of, that could have gone better and that could have been something else. But now, of course, there is, and the thing is that we were always taught accept everybody, accept as they are. That was not possible because we have not accepted ourselves. So that was one thing which was lacking. Like I'm saying, changing the puzzle pieces to the right places is first accept yourself, then you can accept others. So many little shifts, and we are turning somewhere, God knows, meeting our own self in a new way. I was all along here, but I was not here.
Yes.
Thank you.
One thing I want you to experiment now that you are reflecting, and anyone else who is reflecting on events of the past where things happened automatically in a beautiful way and they turned out lovely in our life. So when you reflect there, try and think about what was your state in which you made that decision. Whenever that decision you made, think of the state, and you will know that that is the state of being heart-centered. So if someone has difficulty understanding what it means to be heart-centered, that is what it is. All those moments when your decisions were absolutely to the point, perfect, without any doubt, without any questions, and you just went ahead, did it, and the outcome was fantastic. That state in which you made that choice, when you acted in that state is what is heart-centered, being connected to your all-knowing intelligence. Always you will find, anytime you did a debate in your head, results will not be as you wanted them to be. There will be something, results will definitely be there. When there is action, there will be a consequence, but at the same time, the expectation may not be met. So when it comes from the all-knowing intelligence, then the outcome is to the way it is required by you in that moment, at that time. So whenever you are reflecting, think about the state in which you made that choice. That's a very enlightening aspect of self retrospection. When you do that, you will really discover yourself. Well, okay, I have been getting those moments of being connected. That will give you confidence. Yes, I have been doing it, but that was happening unknowingly. Now I will do it knowingly. Now I know. So now it's my effort that will take me in that direction. So like Ajayji was mentioning, existence happens from awareness. Now I will do it in awareness, right? And existence equal to experience will come from there. The right experiences will come because my action will be right and my experiences will be the right one. So understanding that is very important. Some of these fundamentals have always been there in the scriptures, but we never applied them to life, right? And through this book, we are indirectly trying to go there. Why I say indirectly? Because in our sessions, we talk a lot about Gyan, right? But the book doesn't talk about Gyan at all. The book is a direct method. Go into the heart and everything else is taken care of. What we are doing is we are taking care of things so that we can go make that alignment, right? You understand? That difference is there, right? So what I'm saying is we need to um, um, understand that aspect of it, that part. The method we are behind all these talks about Gyan and all that, what we are doing is helping you stay with the chapters. If you stay with the chapter and continue the practice, you will eventually find the direct access to the all-knowing intelligence instead of picking one fruit at a time. Right? This is the difference. But the book doesn't talk so much deep about knowledge. Why we talk about knowledge is so that you can actually figure out for yourself, because all of us are in the mind. We live in the mind, right? Our life is connected to the mind. So how do we bridge that gap from mind to the heart? That's where our intention of all these discussions is. So we use the knowledge, the Gyan, only to bridge the gap and move towards that where you will automatically have all this. Then you will not need the Gyan from anywhere else. It will be your own all-knowing intelligence that will drive your life, day-to-day life, every action. Every action will spontaneously be that. In chapter 15, we will understand the significance of these actions, how they support our spiritual development. So we'll do that at that time. Okay. All right. So shall we bring our session for today to a close, and then we'll get together tomorrow again. Tomorrow we'll try and finish the workbook part of it. Okay. Right. So thank you for your participation, and special thanks to Neha ji for conducting the session for us today.